Good morning from Oklahoma. I'm Dave Deken with a look at what's happening in agriculture and rural life across our great state in this episode of Red Dirt and Round Bales. Since the beginning of April, I've been traveling to Oklahoma documenting the wheat crop for the Oklahoma Wheat Commission and watching a crop try its best to make a plant out of the red dirt that we love. The thousands of miles I've traveled this season from Walters in the south and several trips across the central regions of the state, through north central Oklahoma, all the way up into the panhandle, well, it's allowed me to really think about why wheat in Oklahoma. Here's the strange thing about hard red winter wheat. It's the winter part. It needs winter. And this year, it didn't get all of that winter that it needed. Most crops are waiting on the warmth in the spring and the sun to climb higher and the soil to loosen up. But winter wheat has a different way about it. You plant it in the fall when the year is winding down. It sprouts, it settles in, it puts down roots while the days get shorter. Frost, wind, bare fields, long nights, and somewhere in all of that cold, the plant gets ready. There's a scientific word for that process: vernalization. It means winter wheat needs a stretch of cold before it can move from just growing leaves to making a head of grain. A farmer out here needed more than hope. He needed a crop that knew how to wait. Turkey red was a hard winter wheat tied to German-speaking Mennonite farmers from the Russian Empire, especially the communities around the Black Sea region and Crimea. In the 1870s, many Mennonites left Russia for North America. They were looking for land, religious freedom, and a place where their families could live according to conscience. And when they came, they brought more than belongings. They brought farm knowledge. By the 1870s, German Mennonite immigrants from Russia had introduced turkey red hard winter wheat into Kansas. It proved well suited for the plains. It could handle fall planting, it could survive winter, and it made strong bread flour. And it fit dry, open country better than many earlier wheats did. One important name in that Kansas chapter was Bernhard Warkentin. He came to the United States in 1871, helped encourage Mennonite settlement in Kansas, worked for the Santa Fe Railway, experimented with hard red winter wheat, and arranged a large shipment of wheat seed from Russia to Kansas in 1885. Because wheat was never just a crop. Wheat needed mills. It needed railroads and elevators. It needed people who knew how to grow it, harvest it, grind it, ship it, sell it. Then the story moved south. Before the land run of 1889, wheat was already being grown in Indian Territory. After the land openings, Mennonite families were among those who came to the Oklahoma Territory. The 1889 land run happened in April. Too late for fall-planted winter wheat that first season. Then, of course, came drought. The dry years after 1889 were severe enough that some settlers borrowed seed wheat from the Santa Fe and Rock Island railways. Imagine that. Not much money, new land, unreliable rain, and still they borrowed seed to put in the ground. That takes a quiet kind of faith, the kind that says, we'll plant anyway. When the drought finally broke in 1896, wheat helped many Oklahoma farm families hang on. And from there, hard red winter wheat became part of Oklahoma's rhythm. Plant in the fall, wait through winter, watch the spring, and cut in early summer. It was a crop built around patience. And maybe that is why it still fits into this place so well. A wheat field does not prove itself the day it sprouts. As we saw this year, it has to go through wind. It has to go through cold. It has to go through dry spells, muddy spells, and everything in between. Then, if things go right, it turns gold. That's the beauty of hard red winter wheat. It doesn't avoid hardship. It uses it. And every May and June, when combines roll and elevators start filling, that old story rises again. A crop planted before winter. A crop made ready by cold. A crop that reminds us sometimes endurance is not just surviving the hard seasons. Sometimes the hard season is what prepares you to bear grain. To learn more about the introduction of hard red winter wheat to Oklahoma, visit reddirtandroundbales.com. I'm Dave Deken, and we'll talk with you next time when we take another look at rural life and agriculture in Oklahoma on Red Dirt and Round Bales.